Hi everybody, welcome back to Tips for You. Today I want to give you some tips on drinking, and I want to make you aware that a woman's body is different than a man's body when it comes to metabolizing alcohol. Men metabolize alcohol easier than women do. It's just a fact. Even a 150-pound man and a 150-pound woman, equal weight, the woman will take longer to metabolize the alcohol. She will get intoxicated before the man does. Now, several reasons for that. One is that the woman's body has a higher fat to water ratio than the man's body. The more water content you have in your body, the easier it is to process the alcohol. The alcohol will go to wherever the water is. The smaller your body, the less you weigh, the smaller your frame, the less water content you have, the fewer places for that alcohol to go, so it gets trapped in your organs. It takes longer for your liver to process it, and therefore you get drunk easier and you stay drunk longer. So that's something to keep in mind when you're drinking. And we've all heard about not drinking on an empty stomach. Well, this is very true. Have some food before you drink. Any food will do. Salad, pasta, whatever. Don't drink on an empty stomach, because by the time you get your food, that alcohol has gone straight into your bloodstream, and even if you eat after that, it's too late. It will affect you. There's also an enzyme that men have that's more efficient in the stomach than women have. That enzyme is called ALDH, and it's more efficient in men and can process the alcohol better than it can in women, so men can dispose of the alcohol quicker. Now, what is the nationwide legal limit for blood alcohol content? In the U.S., it's 0.08, but it's really hard to gauge. What does exactly that mean? Well, that's based on one alcoholic drink, and one drink means 12 ounces of beer, or 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of liquor. And the trouble with that is that each beverage that you drink, the alcohol volume percentage in that beverage can range. So while beer can range from 3.5% alcohol by volume to 6.8% alcohol by volume. So there you're getting more than 5% sometimes, so you're just not sure. And with wine, wine generally is about 12 to 14% alcohol by volume for a bottle of wine, but some are 9, some are more, so you have to know, you have to read the label and know when you're drinking something if it has a high alcohol content. Now also, when you drink a glass of wine, it can be deceiving because some glasses are really big and some are not so big. So if you're having 5 ounces of wine, it may look like half a glass of wine, but if you've got a really big glass, there could be 6 or 7 ounces in there. And if you drink a full glass of wine and it's a pretty big glass, you could have 12 to 14 ounces of wine in there, in which case you're getting double the amount of a serving. If a serving is 5 ounces of alcohol, well, you're getting 10 or 12 or 14 or whatever. I've seen wine glasses as big as 20 ounces. So just keep that in mind, that you might be getting double what you think you're getting, and it will affect you. Now, that blood alcohol content is actually measured in hours. And there's a great website that actually calculates that. I'm going to put it in the description box so that you can go on there and play with it. But I wrote a couple of things down for you just to share with you. So I took a 120-pound woman, and I'm in that range, a little less. And if you drank one alcoholic drink, either 12 ounces of beer or 5 ounces of wine in 1 hour, your blood alcohol content would be 0.026. So that's below the legal limit of 0.08. So you're fine there, but you still want to wait. You want to wait at least an hour and a half after you've had a drink so that you're able to feel normal again to drive. So if that same person, 120-pound woman, had 2 drinks in 1 hour, well, that would be a 0.064 alcohol content. So now we've more than doubled our alcohol content. More than. So it's cumulative. If you have 3 drinks in 1 hour, you're at 0.10. So you are over the legal limit. But what if you had 3 drinks in 2 hours? Maybe you're out for 2 hours, you had 3 drinks. Well, you're at 0.09, over the legal limit. So you've got to be careful. 3 drinks in 3 hours, you're at 0.078, just at the legal limit. So your body needs about an hour and a half to metabolize that alcohol. But if you start putting in too much over that time period, you can see that in 3 hours, if you had 2 drinks, you're at 0.09. And you can go to this website and you can put in your weight and you can check and you can look at it. And what I think is a great idea is some restaurants and bars are now carrying breathalyzers for their customers. So if you want to check yourself before leaving, you can. People are also buying them themselves and keeping them with them right on them so that they can check them. Husbands are keeping it for wives, vice versa. Wives keeping it for husbands, so that you don't have to have that argument, give me the keys, and the person says, no, 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 I'm fine. So what about champagne? This is an interesting little fact. Champagne gets you drunk faster. And they speculate that it's because of the carbonation. That the carbonation irritates the walls of your stomach, making you absorb the alcohol faster. So if you think, well, I'm going to have a Diet Coke, I'm feeling kind of tired, I'll have a rum and Coke, that way the Coke kind of keeps me awake, well, that's going to make you get drunk faster because the carbonation in the soda is going to irritate the walls of your stomach and you're going to absorb that alcohol even faster. So there are studies that are shown that you can read about that say moderate drinking is good for your health. And that makes it a popular thing to do. So now we indulge more. We'll have it at play dates and we'll have it at book clubs and have an alcohol beverage more often than you normally have in the past because you think it's good for you. But what's moderate? Moderate drinking. Well, moderate currently means 1 drink per day. And that's for a man or a woman, 1 drink per day. Now, women, you need to know and you want to be careful because if you exceed that and go to 2 drinks, for example, or more, you are increasing your risk of breast cancer by doing that. Even drinking 1 drink a day increases your risk of breast cancer. So you want to be sure that the benefits for you are outweighing the risks. There are many healthy foods you can eat. There are many things you can do to prevent heart disease if you don't want to indulge in alcohol. But you can have it once in a while. It's a great thing to do. I personally don't drink every day. I'll drink on occasion. I will have some wine with dinner, but that would be the most for me. I very easily get affected by alcohol. I don't weigh a lot, so I am always careful to make sure that I have some food first. And then I sip a small amount so that I can be responsible. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun and drink, but you need to be aware that your body as a woman is different than a man. And it's very easy nowadays to listen to the news and hear about alcohol intoxication of young people in college and things because they don't know how much their bodies can hold and they're drinking excessively and they get blood poisoning and they can die. That's a very scary thing. Alcohol is meant to be enjoyed and respected. Alcohol is not meant to be drank like it's water. You have to sip it, you have to enjoy it, you have to respect it. If you don't respect it, it will take its toll on you. You don't want to put your life at risk from drinking. You don't ever want to get behind the wheel of a car. Your coordination is off. You're unable to process all of the things that you need to do at once to drive. Your reaction time is slower. You want to be careful. And the rate for women for driving while intoxicated has increased by 30%, over 30%, since between the years 2000 and 2009. That's a big increase. Women are drinking more. Women are using it more in social occasions. You have to be careful and you have to know your limitations. You cannot drink like a man. You cannot process the alcohol like a man can. You have to leave yourself enough time for the alcohol to get out of your system. You can never be too careful. You don't want to put yourself, your life at risk or someone else's. So remember, the more you weigh, the better you'll be able to process the alcohol, but You're still processing it at a slower rate than a man is. Now, we've all heard that person say, well, I have a high tolerance. Well, it's not that you have a high tolerance. It's that it takes you longer to feel drunk. It doesn't mean that your blood doesn't register that you are drunk. It's just that you take longer to feel that way, and the more you drink, the longer it takes for you to feel drunk. That's why people who drink a lot often don't appear like they're affected at all, but their blood is, their body is. They're just not registering it the way, say, somebody who doesn't normally drink does. They feel it immediately and they start acting it too. So keep that in mind. And then there are some people who can't tolerate alcohol at all. They can't process it. There are members of the population who just get very sick. They can't metabolize it. So, it carries a lot of calories with it. It's meant to be something that you do in moderation, something that you do responsibly, and something that you respect. Like I said, you learn to respect it. You wouldn't, because you love having chocolate, eat 10 candy bars in the span of 3 hours. Not only would you feel awful and never want to see candy bars again, but you'd make yourself sick. Well, that's the same situation with drinking. You cannot just indulge in something and drink and drink and drink without feeling the consequences of it. And the next day you usually feel those consequences. You're dehydrated, you feel terrible. What alcohol does is it dehydrates the body. So if you're replacing the water content in your body while you're drinking, so have a glass of water on the table, and as you sip your wine with dinner, you have some water. That way you don't dehydrate yourself and you won't feel the effects so much of alcohol. And alcohol can have all kinds of effects. It has headaches, migraine headaches, some people have heart palpitations. There are side effects that some people can't tolerate alcohol for different reasons. So a rule of thumb, if you have one drink, you wait an hour to drive if you're a man. If you're a woman, wait an hour and a half to be safe. Because like I said, the woman's body will process it slower. I hope you all found this video helpful. I hope it'll give you some food for thought when it comes to drinking, about respecting it, teaching your children to respect it. It's important that young teens and college-age students realize that drinking is something that you don't want to learn to abuse. Habits are formed, especially when you're younger, and you don't want to continue to abuse it all your life, because it does wreck your life. Becoming an alcoholic or an alcoholism can strike anyone, and it's not something that you ever think is going to happen to you, and then suddenly it does, and it ruins lives, and it ruins marriages, and it continues on down the chain and affects the children. You have the power to deal with that. You can learn to drink socially and responsibly without abusing it. Because whenever you abuse something, unfortunately the consequences are not good for your body or for your health or for you. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that you will give some consideration to the points that I made about drinking, about being responsible, about not driving when you've been drinking. Even if you think you feel fine, if you've had a few drinks, chances are you're above the legal limit for driving, and you might want to sit and wait a while. And if you think you should have your own breathalyzer with you so that you can be sure before you get behind the wheel, then I think it's a great idea. And please subscribe, because I have a lot more to come, something of interest to everyone. And please visit me at my blog spot, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter, so please connect with me there as well, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye now.